So, Mark, did you see that picture of the granny playing the old school cowboy slots? As Grandpa D says, I wonder if he pulled the wrong handle.
Yeah, the one slot, he definitely has a grimace on his face. But these are so cool. I think they're better. I mean, we have the lights, the tall slot machines that go over top of you and all encumbers it. But this is better, don't you think?
These are awesome. And just a reminder, Main Street Station has a bunch of old school slots like this that you can see and view. I think the Skyline Casino on Boulder Highway actually has this exact one.
Where grannies still go to pull the wrong thing.
One of the more interesting plays in Las Vegas for status is Caesars with their multiplier days and their ability to earn diamond or to upper tiers by strategically playing video poker or other advantaged machines and earning, 5x, 10x during their multipliers. And this is a very complicated thing for a lot of people to figure out. But I found this thread on Poker Fraud Alert that I think lays it out perfectly, the strategy you should use. Now, it also is very good at telling you that there is a variance in the numbers and you could lose here. I mean, you could lose a lot of money trying to earn status, especially if you try to go for diamond, but it tells you when to stop, how the days work, all of that sort of stuff. And I think a lot of people out there listening to this show should probably look at this.
Yeah, I think Caesars does make it somewhat easy to get their stats, easier probably than some of the competitors with these multipliers, plus the bonuses that you can earn day if you earn 2,500 tier credits or 5,000 tier credits. I wasn't the most disciplined on that back when I was a Caesars fanboy, but I did remember getting those emails the next day when you'd wake up after like a long session and be like, oh, I hit the multiplier. Cool. Like I didn't track it that closely, but it was always nice when you earned 5,000 or 2,500 in a day and got that 5,000 or 10,000 tier credit bump. So that is something to pay attention to. If you're doing these multiplier days, it probably matters less, but it's still kind of nice to stack that stuff together. But yeah, I like that they break down the numbers and they say, hey, if you're going for diamond and you don't hit a royal, it'll probably cost you $10,000 more. It'll cost you $1,000 more if you don't hit a royal during going for diamond, which that's a huge difference right there.
Yeah, there's a big difference between the expected loss and the real loss, right? The math can go in many different directions. I mean, a royal flush is about 2% of the entire payback. So if you don't get that, then you're losing. I mean, it can go bad. That's how math is, even though you can say, theoretically, I should lose 2% or whatever it is. They also have certain machines that don't earn as much. And there's a whole ecosystem, like I said earlier this year when I was on the strip at the 10X multiplier. It's crazy how many people are doing this.
Oh yeah, I mean they hammer those days, and even check your local casinos if you have some Caesars affiliated casinos around you. They run similar things at times, and definitely pay attention to cutoff. I think that's a great tip, and it depends on where you're at. Like if you're in Vegas, it might be 6 a.m. If you're somewhere else, it might be 4 a.m. And that's when the new day starts, and you have to pull your card out and put it back in to kind of trigger the new earning for the new day. So there's a lot of hoops to pay attention to depending on when you like to do your damage.
But Las Vegas these days, you need to be a little bit more savvy. This is a way to do it. We'll talk later in the show about somebody who has decided not to be savvy with the Caesars property and complain about everything. So we'll see. But yeah, as far as multipliers, in March, there's 5X multipliers coming. I think the next 10X is in May for Las Vegas. And then as Mark said, the dates around their casinos around the country are different and the rules are sometimes different. But go do that. But if you don't want to do that, how about a 6-7 promo? I know you were so excited about this. You're so into 6-7. It took a long time for Las Vegas to get a 6-7 promotion. And at Lucky Pig at New York, this is really good. So it's a 6 to 7 p.m. happy hour. You can get bowls that are usually $14 for $6 during this promotion. I love that they actually leaned into it and gave a good value during, 6 to 7 p.m. That's the heart of dining.
It should have been like 670 if they really wanted to lean in, right?
Fail.
Yeah. No, I mean, this is what, like 8 months too late on taking advantage of the 6-7 trend. I guess that nobody that works there has an 11-year-old daughter that's obsessed with these things. Otherwise, they would have done it earlier. But all that aside, this is a really amazing promotion. I would grab the chicken teriyaki bowl with some rice, and that it's at from 6 to 7 p.m. prime time, dinner time, when you want to grab something quick off the side of the casino or you're walking through the area. I think that's an amazing deal. I would hit that up at least once or twice during a trip if I'm staying around the New York. I mean, you can't beat it. As long as the food is good, that deal is hard to beat anywhere else in Vegas.
How many people that watch our shows only know about 6-7 because of us? I wonder what the number is, because I have to imagine it didn't cross over quite as much for people who didn't have kids.
I hope we're not the people that broke this for them.
Well, what about a different promotion? Another one. How about Crazy Girls over at Circa? And I came across this because I guess they're selling merch now. So they had this whole advertisement. You can
Came
go see the
across
Crazy
it.
Girls. The weird thing is, so they're promoting it and then they're just saying buy the merch online. But I guess the headline here is you can buy. I don't know if Crazy Girl, I'm sure it probably had merch during the shows in the old days. They probably sold t-shirts and stuff. But I don't know of any merch around with the Crazy Girls, and you can get cups, hats, shirts. I think there's worse things to put on a shirt that are Vegas related.
I guess it depends on what your wife thinks about this, if you have a wife. But no, I think it's kind of fun. And if anybody that loved the show or kind of misses that, and you can go see the statue or the bust if you want to, which is still cool. I wish they would bring the show back. Wouldn't that be kind of something if Circa brought it out of retirement and started it up again?
Yeah, I never saw Crazy Girl, so I don't know, obviously an adult review. I know the basics of what it was, but yeah, I think it would, be interesting. I don't know how many people are dying for that, but I know that bust has become popular, which reminds me of the days when it was at Planet Hollywood. And I'll throw up this video of the guy with the best job in the world, the guy who gets to clean it.
See, that's how Sean found this stuff, because he was searching how to get that job.
Yeah, exactly. I have a history with this statue, and now it's important to me because I watched it get torn out of Riviera, I watched it get torn out of Planet Hollywood, and hopefully I don't see it get torn out of Circa anytime soon, but go see that. Circa's also going all in with Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, and they're having an entire weekend that's going to coincide with the Las Vegas Bitcoin Conference, April 27th to 29th. They're going to have themed programming around Bitcoin, everything crypto. This place is always full of men. They say it's a sausage fest. What do you think is going to happen when you fill it up with crypto bros? But you can pay for crypto, I think, just about everywhere in Circa now. And it's been the case, I think, since they opened. They've been very crypto forward. But as a reminder, in Nevada law, anything that has to do with gaming can't be done in crypto. So no good there.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see if crypto makes a comeback by then. I'm sure people will be willing to spend a bit more if it's on the up and up instead of coming down like it has the last month or so. So we'll have to see how that plays out. We got some time for it to make a rally. But can we talk about how bad the one Bitcoin promo is?
Well, it depends what the price of Bitcoin is. Right now, it's under 70,000 or about that. I haven't looked in a couple days. It was up to 120,000. So they have this one Bitcoin package, which includes a stay in Circa's 1,830 square foot founder suite, also 20 premium king rooms, so 20 hotel rooms, VIP seating at the resort's sportsbook, and access to a private stadium swim party hosted by Steven. So let's say 70 grand for 20 hotel rooms plus a VIP suite for a weekend. Yeah. Well, if you don't got enough crypto lying around, that's the problem.
I mean, I feel like you could buy all that for less than one Bitcoin. You could still do it, and it would be cheaper.
Yeah, it reminds you of the time where the guy paid for a pizza with like 19 Bitcoin or something. I don't know. I mean, some people would say save your Bitcoin too because it's going to go up in value, and therefore, I don't know. It's just interesting. Circa always doing something a little different. And they, I joked about the Sausage Fest and all that, but it is a male forward brand. And I think this probably feeds really well into that.
Who doesn't want a Sausage Fest stadium swim private party with your 20 crypto bros?
Sounds good to me. I don't know. As a reminder, we have our Patreon where you can see us talk all kinds of nonsense behind the paywall, things we can't talk about here, our lives, our Vegas stuff, plus live streams and everything else with our all access. Patreon.com/MTM Vegas for all the information, after show all access. Go check it out. Thanks to everybody who supports us over there. So we have a rumor for you coming from Johnny Katz, Mark. Usually it's Johnny Katz and talking about Vital Vegas rumors. But in this case, Johnny Katz, I think he was the first one to say this. Foundation Room may be reopening in July, if not sooner. We've talked about Foundation Room. They closed kind of suddenly for a renovation. We had one of the members even email us saying that they saw it on our show before they were even told by Foundation Room they were closing. But all of that to say there is no more Foundation Room. Katz is reporting that it's going to be called the Vinyl Room.
I like the name. I think that's kind of a fun name, and I hope that they really lean into it and have it be kind of 70s-esque design with some vinyl records, lean into music, maybe have some live music in there. I think that would be cool if that's where they're going with it.
Yeah, I don't really understand changing the name, but I guess maybe we don't really know what's going to look like inside. And like you said, if this supports that and maybe sort of a old-fashioned bougie sort of club instead of more of the party club that it became. It originally opened as a membership club. It had the restaurant and it was members only for a long time. and that changed eventually, but maybe they're trying to go back to be more posh than they became in the end.
Yeah, I think if they're trying to rework the whole brand and kind of have the space be thought of in a different way, I think that would be needed. I like the foundation room, but I'm kind of excited to see what they do with this.
Absolutely. But we have to talk about the Caesar's Palace drama. Now, I don't really love talking about every video where somebody complains about prices in Las Vegas because it has become a trend and people are doing it for engagement. But sometimes videos go so wide that I think they are worth discussing. And there's really nothing in this video. So this guy's laying in bed at Caesar's Palace, talking about the $200 worth of stuff that he has just spent
to survive.
To survive in Las Vegas. I was just at Palazzo last Sunday. I survived on far less and could have even survived on even less than that. You know, first off, talking about the resort fee, that's ridiculous in 2026. If you're going to complain about the resort fee as if you didn't know, I'm sorry. I don't have any feelings about that. I mean, I don't like resort fees. We've already got ad nauseum about that. But, you know, things that do bother me, like he went to go look at the coffee maker and the K-Cups charge. You know, no hotel in the world charges you for coffee except in Las Vegas. And it didn't used to be, they didn't used to have the coffee maker in the room. Now they do, so they can trick you into getting a box of 4 K-Cups for $20. That sucks. But then he went to go order room service or went to order fried rice and he's complaining about the room service charge. It's like, you're going to order a $23 fried rice. Of course, they're going to charge you a $15 delivery fee. He complains about the $12 ATM fee in the casino. Yeah, it just keeps getting worse. All these little things that we know and talk about, but the way he put it together, I didn't like. I just felt like this was designed purely to get engagement.
Yeah, it complains about bottled water and how much it costs. Like, there's a sink there, there's cups, you can drink for free. You don't need fried rice to survive. You walk your ass downstairs and go. That's the nice thing about Vegas. There's so many restaurants within a couple minute walk that you could have gone and picked up your fried rice. I'm sure there's a Panda Express somewhere for you, buddy. So go check that out. I do think it's crazy. I don't know about the $3 to pick it up in the lobby charge. I don't know what they're talking about there. Like, you can get room service delivered, but you meet them in the lobby and then you pay the $3 fee. I don't know if that was like Grubhub or what the heck he's talking about. But yeah, the K-Cups, I'm guessing they're on the stand with all the other mini bar stuff. So it's pretty obvious. Don't touch any of that unless you've never stayed in a hotel before. It's annoying that they charge, but they've been charging for coffee there for a long time. So it's not like they really got him. He purposely did that. I doubt he even picked it up. He probably just says that he did or whatever, got charged. Like, this is all nonsense, and it kind of pissed me off.
One point he makes is that the refrigerator isn't empty and you can't use it for anything and it's full of stuff. I mean, it's a mini bar and that's not exclusive to Las Vegas. In fact, less hotels have mini bars now than they ever did before. I will say the fact that they charge you if you pick it up for a second and you immediately put it back, what they don't want you to do is take something off and then go to the store and replace it. And I guess that makes sense. But if you take something off for 10 seconds and the sensor sees that, they should give you your money back. I mean, I've been in hotels where I've done it and it's never been an issue. Caesars is highly disconnected from the guest experience. This company is, but I agree. There's just so many things here. Like, at what point are you just complaining about stuff that isn't true in order to get stuff? I mean, there's a lot of things to complain about here, but also, man, there's so many cool things if you just go downstairs and go outside that maybe it's worth it in some way.
Yeah, like, go eat at one of the million restaurants right outside your door. I don't know. If you complain enough about mini bar charges, usually they'll take them off because they don't know if it was fully restocked. They don't know if maybe an employee took it, or the markup is so high on these things, they're willing to eat some stuff. So if you ever see that charge and you think it's messed up, even if you don't think it's messed up, fight it. They'll probably wipe it off if it's a decent place. Okay, maybe not at Caesars.
Yes. And he wasn't even in the room I was in, Mark, which is like basically at Rio. Can you imagine every time I wanted to go downstairs, the walk I had to make, and I did it because that's what you're there for. I get he's in a conference too. And I think a lot of conference people, they are just looking for a conference experience and they're not really there for Vegas. And I do see where there's a big disconnect there because if you're just going to a conference, do you really need all the spectacle?
Do you need to lay on your bed while you're doing this video?
All right, let's reset here. Let's bring something a little funner. Strip Law. I guess this is a new show on Netflix, an animated cartoon starring Adam Scott, Stephen Root. It looked really good. I haven't watched the show, but I watched the trailer. And if you go to IMDb, all the episodes seem to have pretty good reviews, although the overall review is lower for the show, which I don't get. But it looked pretty good. It's about this lawyer in Sin City and all the crazy stuff that happens. It's animated, and it seems like the humor is right up my alley.
Yeah, I've been wanting to check this out since it first launched or I first heard about it. It seems like it's fun. Of course, it's Vegas tie-in, so I love that. It just seems like really a good adult cartoon with good humor, all that type of stuff that we've kind of grown up on over the last couple decades where this has become more and more popular. And I think that this show is something a little bit different, a little bit more unique, and the tie-in for us is great. So I'm definitely going to check it out.
Yeah, and I saw Las Vegas Locally talking about it this week, so I know it's been out a little while. Shout out to Las Vegas Locally being one of the greatest Vegas influencers and staying on top of stuff like this. But yeah, I will plan to watch it soon. I hope you guys do. If you have watched it, let us know in the comments. What do you think of it? Does it present Vegas in the fun, quirky, made-up cartoon way that you would like? Because I hope it does. It does seem like that based on the trailers. And we haven't talked about the show Las Vegas in at least a couple years, Mark. Early on in doing the show 4 or
You
5
mean
years ago, I
couple
got so
weeks?
upset. I got so obsessed with the show Las Vegas that I rewatched the whole thing. Still my favorite Vegas show. I know a lot of you guys like the old Vegas show from like the 70s. There's so many things, but I love seeing and then yeah, no, we talked about that zombie. I still haven't ever watched that zombie Netflix show from a couple years ago. I heard that was terrible. I think you liked it though.
Yeah, I like all zombie stuff, so I'm good with it.
All right. Well, let's close with this Palazzo. I stayed there last week, and we talked recently about your Venetian room, so I don't feel like the need to go too in depth with the room because this is going to be very similar layout, the decor, all of it. We know that these are huge rooms. They have that beautiful step down into the living room, which is great. The beds are good. The bathrooms are pretty large. My one kind of takeaway from this and your room and stuff is, and Wynn did this too when they renovated their rooms, is the bathroom. Like at Palazzo, they have that sort of brown marble with the black inlays, and the black inlays looks very, very old style, and I don't really love that. But that would be my only takeaway, that I don't like this. I mean, it's a great room. It's an absolutely great room at a great property. But let's talk about the sphere view, because I got to eat my Howlin' Rays in front of the sphere. I decided to take it back to my room. But this is an incredible view. I've had the strip views there every other time I've stayed at Palazzo because there was, I mean, you look at the golf course, there wasn't anything else to look at back there. But man, I enjoyed just looking down at the sphere, taking videos, seeing the whole display. Really good stuff.
Yeah, it looks a lot better than my rooftop view that I got, parking garage or whatever.
That's what you get with Amex FHR. And I guess I should shout that out. I use a credit from my Amex Platinum card. You get a $300 credit. And so I had a $100 food and beverage credit, of which I used some of it at Howlin' Rays. And then I had to go back and use all of it. A lot of personal stuff happened in that night. So I don't know, but yeah, it was a good deal. You got the early check-in at noon, late checkout at 4. I want to really give a shout out to Palazzo's check-in desk. Very friendly agents. I didn't go to the VIP check-in. I think I could have with FHR, but there wasn't any line. Walked right up, got a really friendly person, offered me whatever view I wanted, whether I wanted the strip or I wanted the sphere or whatever. It's just a solid property, and it is so packed. I was there on the last night of Backstreet Boys. Man, that place seems to be doing good.
Yeah, I mean that was the busiest place I think we walked through on New Year's Eve, and it was busy that whole weekend. So I think that they're kind of like in that wind realm where they give you a good product at a decent value, and people are really enjoying it and continue to go back there.
I think since 2021, I've stayed there 5 times now. And I think every single stay, it sort of grows on my rankings to the point where maybe it is now right up there with Cosmo as number 2. My last day at Cosmo wasn't great. It wasn't like, I don't know, spectacular. So definitely right up there as the best hotels in Vegas. Everybody knows Wynn is undisputed champion, though.
Well, it sounds like the MGM effect to me for Cosmo.
I don't know. I mean, there's just trade-offs there. The thing about Venetian, and this is getting nerdy, but the thing about Venetian and Wynn is they're just fully integrated resorts. Cosmo gives you something different, and if you want that different thing, then it's great. And so, I could never hate Cosmo, Mark. I could never hate Cosmo. You got those balconies, and you've never lived until you've had a terrace 60 stories above the strip.
Or peed on the drain if you're a little child.
Las
Do you remember
Vegas
that?
is wonderful. Yes, I do. Las Vegas is wonderful. You know, we've been covering a lot of these crazy videos for many years, and I'd love to hear what you guys have to think about the guy, you know, laying in bed talking about the $200 in charges just to survive in Las Vegas. Was that fair? Caesars, how are you using the tier multipliers? Do you have any advice to offer? And of course, the cartoon, let us know. Have you watched that? Down below. We do 3 shows a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and we'll be back in a couple days with another show. Thank you guys so much for watching. And just a quick note, thank you everybody for the kind comments, and I mean, just so many. Just incredible. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good week.